Good afternoon, friends. Happy Sunday. Welcome back to my kitchen, or welcome if you are new. I am Denise, and I am starting another week of dinners that I am making for my husband and myself. Tonight, I am going to make pork and charred pineapple sliders. In this bowl, I have 8 ounces of ground pork. And in this pan, I am going to cook us up some corn on the cob. All right, I need a 1/4 cup of ketchup, a teaspoon of brown sugar, one and a half tablespoons of pineapple juice, from this can of sliced pineapples. I'm going to put a little bit of oil in this pan so that can heat up too. I need 1 tablespoon of pineapple juice. And then I need 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. And we're going to give this a little mix. And we're going to set that aside. Now to the ground pork. The recipe calls for scallions, but I never have any of them. So I'm just going to use onion. I need a 1/4 cup. I'm going to chop these up just a little bit more. Okay, that looks like a 1/4 cup. Quarter teaspoon of salt. 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. Mix this all together. I'm going to form this into 8 patties. This is piping hot already. Okay, I'm not going to get 8 patties, but all right, we'll get 6. Now the recipe calls for purple cabbage and all that stuff to make coleslaw, so I am just going to use the coleslaw that I made up yesterday. Basically all the same for what the list of ingredients are, so use that and call it good. All right, I'm going to take the temp of this biggest patty here. No, we're not quite there yet. All right, let's tempt this again. Oh yeah, we're good. 165. I'm going to remove these to the plate. And I'm going to put pineapple chunks in here. The pineapple slices. How tiny them are. All right, now we're going to brush the bun with this sauce we made up. Get these flipped here quick. Okay. Them are looking really good. Now my husband said he doesn't want coleslaw on his, but I'm going to give it a try. I've never had coleslaw on a sandwich before. Okay. Corn should be done. All right, there you have it. Pork and charred pineapple sliders. And we're having an ear of corn with that. That is our dinner tonight, and I'll be back when we're done eating to let you know what we thought of these. Okay, friends, these pork and charred pineapple sliders, they were good. They weren't impressive, but they were good. If I make them again, I'm going to just make them into quarter-pound patties, because for the size of the burger patty that you eat with a bun, and you have to eat 2 of them, in my opinion, you're just getting too much bread. But anyway, I'll have this recipe typed out for you below in the description box, and you can make them if you want. We'll see you tomorrow. Good afternoon, friends. Happy Monday. Tonight for dinner, we are having a meatloaf that I made a few weeks ago and had in the freezer. I just had my husband put it in the oven this afternoon. And we're having mashed potatoes and coleslaw. Super simple and delicious. We'll see you tomorrow. Good afternoon, friends. Happy Tuesday. Tonight I am making us some nachos. I am going to brown up a ½ pound of ground beef, a little bit of salt and pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and I'm just going to get this browned up. Okay, my hamburger is browned up. I'm going to add some taco seasoning to it. Going to go with a couple tablespoons. add some water. I have all the fixings here. I'm going to use some of this leftover enchilada sauce from the other night. Alright, that has cooked down now, so I'm going to add some of this enchilada sauce. Let that get good and hot. I'm going to put a layer of bite-sized tortilla rounds on the plate. Alright, this is looking good and hot. Scoop some of this on the chips. A little bit of shredded cheddar cheese. Some chopped onion. I have some lettuce here. It's been in this glass container for a week and a half or so. Still looking pretty good. And some Ortega taco sauce. I forgot there's sour cream in that enchilada sauce that I used, so we won't need to add any top potato tonight. And we'll eat on some grapes. That is our dinner tonight. Plate of nachos. Super simple and delicious. We'll see you tomorrow. Good afternoon, friends. Happy Wednesday. Tonight for dinner, I am making Ranchero Casserole. I need to start out by making a box of Spanish rice. So in here, I just put 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to add the rice and pasta, and I'm going to brown that up a little bit. And then I'll be needing 2 cups of water. Okay, I'm going to open my cans. While this browns up, I'm going to be using a 14.5 ounce can of diced Italian style tomatoes and a 4 ounce can of diced green chilies. Okay, these have browned up. And I'm going to add the 2 cups of water. I have a half a can of black beans that I had drained and rinsed and had in the freezer. Here I have a half a can of corn. And I'm going to add the green chilies. And the diced Italian tomatoes. And I am going to use a jar of my canned chicken. smells so good. Save that broth. Stuff is so nice and tender. Gonna give it a quick chop here. Okay, I'm gonna add the chicken to the pot. And I'm gonna put the lid on this and let it simmer until that rice is tender. So I will bring you back when we plate up. Okay, our Ranchero Casserole is done. Now, if I were to have made this according to the recipe directions, it would have gone in the oven, but I didn't want to put it in the oven, so I just cooked it all here on the stove. But I will have the recipe typed out as it shows in my cookbook here. I'll have that for you below in the description box. This is a new to us recipe, so when we get done eating, I will come back and let you know what we thought of it. Here it is. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, you guys, this Ranchero Casserole, it was really good. I'm glad I only made half of the recipe because we have a lot left here for our leftover Thursdays. I'll make sure I have this typed out for you below in the description box. We'll see you tomorrow. Good afternoon, friends. Happy Friday. Tonight I am making a sausage and cabbage dish. I have here about 10 ounces of smoked sausage, and I'm going to cut them into discs and fry them up. About a 1/4 inch thick. I'm just going to fry these until they have a crisp to them. Okay, this is getting some nice brownness to it. So I'm going to throw in some onions. Good handful. And some garlic. Good heaping teaspoon. I already cleaned and chopped up a head of cabbage. I'm not going to use all of it tonight. Most of it though, because this will cook down a lot. Now I'm going to cover this and let that cabbage fry up a little bit, and then I'll bring you back for what I do next. Alright, the cabbage has been frying for a good 5 minutes. I'm going to put in a tablespoon of tomato paste. Just took this out of the freezer earlier. I put them in 1 tablespoon measurements when I don't use a whole can of paste. And I just keep them in the freezer. Now I'm going to add an 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. And 1 cup of chicken broth. And a 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream. Took this out of the freezer earlier too. Now I'm going to put in a pinch of basil leaves. And oregano. I'm going to put the lid back on this and let it simmer again until the cabbage is tender. And I will bring you back when we plate up. Okay, friends, our dinner is ready, and this smells amazing. I kind of found a recipe, but I didn't follow it completely. I used cabbage, and the recipe called for tortellini, but I had cabbage to use up, so I used that instead. And then I did add a cornstarch slurry to this. 1 tablespoon of cornstarch and 2 tablespoons of cold water. And there you have it. Sausage and cabbage hot dish. I'll let you know what we thought of it when we're done eating. Okay, friends, this cheesy smoked sausage skillet was really good. And I have made it before with the cheese tortellini. And I have to say, I liked it this way better with the cabbage. I'll have this recipe linked for you below in the description box. You all have a happy and safe Labor Day weekend, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye. Good afternoon, friends. Happy Saturday. Tonight for dinner, I'm frying us up some potatoes that I have peeled, washed, and diced. And I'm going to make steaks on the George Foreman grill. In here, I'm going to put about a tablespoon or so of olive oil. And a tablespoon of butter. Let these sit out for a while to come to room temperature a little bit. Going to drain these potatoes. I'm going to season these steaks with some of this Weber gourmet burger seasoning. I'm not going to start the steaks yet because they won't take long. They're nice and thin. So I'm going to dump in the potatoes. And I'm going to season them with salt and pepper. And I'm just going to put the steaks on the George Foreman grill with just that seasoning that I just put on. And then we're going to have some refrigerated pickles with this. Okay, the potatoes are over halfway cooked already. So I'm going to get the George Foreman heating up. I'm going to add chopped onion to these potatoes. And some garlic powder. Going to give this a dose of cooking spray when it's ready. Okay, that's preheated. And we'll be cooking one steak at a time. Won't take too overly long. So I'll bring you back. Okay, our potatoes are done. We'll take a look at this first steak. We'll each have half of it for starters. Oh yeah. Get this other one on here. Steak and potatoes. And a little bowl of my homemade refrigerated pickles. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you part of my YouTube family. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.